and welcome to our third Elevate conference. With us today, we have our career fair kickoff with Bentley Systems, and we have a bunch of their staff and recruiting here to tell you more about themselves and the roles. And you'll be meeting them later as well in the employer booth from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Sorry, we're on the West Coast here. And we would love to, talk to everybody. I know there's some introductions, so I'm going to hand it off to Jen.
Hi, so I'm Jen. I'm based in the Quebec City office. As you can see, I'm in the office right now, but we are a company that, some people work from home, some people work from the office, some people are hybrid, some days at the office, some days at home. I've been with Bentley for about 5 years now. I come through an acquisition, so my company was acquired 5 years ago. It was a company about a startup for an artificial intelligence. So when I joined Bentley, I was in the applied AI team that, builds and constructs machine learning models for different products. And as I worked for a couple of years, I really wanted to go into product management. And my management team was behind me 100%. They gave me training, they gave me mentoring opportunities, books to read, and then eventually they even found opportunities for me to, switch teams and become a product manager. So even if it means losing a colleague within your team, Bentley is all about, growing your career within Bentley systems. So that's really what I love about Bentley. I don't code anymore, but AI, people will work with PyTorch, Python, and then we also have desktop products where we do C++, Delphi, Java, and we have a big cloud platform where we do C#, TypeScript, React, Kubernetes, SQL servers, and so on, right? Lots of technologies we work with. And what I love most about Bentley is working with people globally. So we have colleagues in Europe, in India, Pakistan, Australia, and I get to meet them and learn so much about their culture, and that's great. But I can also meet other colleagues outside of work, I guess, through different groups. So we have My Wellbeing group, which is about mental health and physical health. We have our diversity, equity, inclusion groups. We have different groups of that too. And then we also have groups for empowering sustainable goals. So if you have other interests outside of work and you can meet other people and then, you can work together towards a common goal, helping Bentley. So that's what I love about it. Stephanie, do you want to maybe go ahead and talk about your career path?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jen. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephanie Robinson. I'm a director with Cohesive, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Bentley. So Cohesive is a services delivery company that was compiled with 8 other companies that used to be competitors, and Bentley brought us together under the same umbrella. We're still in the process. We're still relatively new. My company was one of the first ones acquired, the one I worked for originally, and we're about 3 years into our Bentley relationship, having just acquired another company under the Cohesive umbrella as recently as this past summer. So in short, we help companies who want to manage their physical assets, so their buildings, their pumps, their power lines, their nuclear reactors, whatever it happens to be, that want to manage their physical assets better. And we do that by compiling small teams of industry professionals as well as technical professionals, and we analyze their business processes. We take a look at how they do things, what they want to do, what their end goal is on what they want to do, how they want to maintain their assets, and then we make recommendations for best practices from the exposure that our professionals have had, from the technologies that our specialists know, and we also work with some pretty unique software platforms to help achieve those goals in asset management. We primarily look at utility industry, but we also have solutions for transportation, aviation, healthcare, and general business. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, but as Jen was talking about, I've had conversations with people from South Africa, from Scotland, from England today. We are a global company, and it's one of the neat things that we have within Cohesive. For example, you may hear about some openings in North America. I don't care where you live, you can work for me. because all we require is that you have a strong internet connection and that you understand the business that we're in. By design, we are hybrid. Most of the time, our clients are our employees, are at the client site working. So regardless of where you live, you may fly in from on Mondays and work at the client site until Thursday afternoon, and then you fly back home. So you're working with a team, you're working with customers, and then you're working with a company, cohesive and a bigger company, Bentley. I'm a member of the veterans who work at Bentley. I'm a member of Black employees that work at Bentley and some of the other affinity groups that Jen had mentioned. So you get different levels of membership when you join this company. I've been in delivery consulting for 7 years. I came to Bentley as a trainer. I'm now a director. I was an industry specialist when I joined. And as I mentioned, I work very closely with my colleagues in Canada and in Brazil and all across the United States. It's been a real experience becoming part of Bentley after having been with a small company for so long. It expanded our perspective, it expanded our family, and it taught us how to apply some things that we actually usually get paid to go into clients to do, and now we're doing it for ourselves. There's lots of opportunities with this acquisition, and I believe that we haven't even scratched the surface, so it'll be great to have some of you join us in this journey. Meghan.
Thanks, Stephanie. Hi, everyone. My name is Meghan. I'm our manager of talent acquisition for the Americas region, which includes the United States, Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. Personally, I am based out of the greater Philadelphia area in the US. I am, as you can probably see from my background, a hybrid colleague. So I do travel into our global headquarters when able, but spend most of my time working remotely since the pandemic. I've been recruiting for 10 years now, and having spent the past 5 specifically here at Bentley Systems. What I love most about working here at Bentley is our culture, and I am fully aware that that is a cliche response, but it's true, and it's the people here that I work with and the support that I receive across leadership that makes me say that. I could list several reasons as to why I love our culture, but one that's close to my heart personally is the fact that I have the confidence to unapologetically say that my family comes first, and to be supported in that. So when the unexpected does come up, which it does because I have a 3-year-old and one on the way, I can be there for my family and then return to work with uninterrupted focus and dedication. So that's what I love about Bentley, one of the many things. But here with Bentley, I recruit for roles across the company, from technical to sales, legal, finance, you name it. I've supported it, and wanted to highlight 2 roles that we're currently recruiting for. I know Angie graciously shared our openings in the chat, so please feel free to take a look at those openings. But one of the 2 that I wanted to highlight is our Enterprise User Success Manager, where we are looking for someone with experience of the engineering or construction industry to be able to act as a trusted advisor to our users and help solve business problems and ensure that they are maximizing their potential of the Bentley software solution. Another role we're hiring for is a VP of User Experience and Research, where we're looking for someone who has experience successfully scaling and reaching a steady state of UX across both desktop and enterprise systems. The interview process at Bentley would be first to apply formally to the job requisition. From there, if there is initial interest from the hiring manager's end, a talent acquisition representative will schedule a screening call to confirm job requirements, as well as answer any initial questions that you may have. The result of a successful phone screen would be to then bring you forward and meet with the hiring manager directly. And from there, we would certainly introduce you to other stakeholders and team members throughout the interview process. So that is a little bit on Bentley, and we're looking forward to joining everyone in the virtual booth.